So, one of the most radical things you can do is really listen to someone. This is a quote by Katrina vanden Heuvel. She's a Democratic columnist for a number of different media platforms, including the Washington Post. Through this quote, it's obvious that she thinks listening is very powerful, and she utilizes her platform as a columnist to get her point across to readers that her opinions are valid and meaningful and are best for the country. So, first, she uses ethos. Katrina vanden Heuvel uses ethos. First, she talks about Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, how they went and spoke to a college, and she includes their names and the colleges and everything that they did, basically, just to show that they're making efforts, and her side of, like, her Democratic Party is, like, not just sitting around doing nothing. They're making efforts to try and make change, and this really establishes credibility. Next, she uses listing, and for listing, she discusses everything that she thinks is wrong with President Trump's plan, and this puts all of her thoughts in one sentence and really shows that she has reasoning, and that also establishes her credibility. Secondly, she uses diction. So first, she tries to convince her readers by using a cause and effect statement. She just discusses that with Republicans in office, Democrats are basically doomed. And this basically shows that there's no way out without, there's no way out with Republicans in office. And this just makes her readers feel like there's nothing else they can do, but they just need to, like, keep fighting. So it's like a call to action. Next, she uses a metaphor when she says, I always lose the quote, right? Oh, she says it's basically much more concerned about kitchen table issues when she's discussing, like, problems that are going on with politics. And this basically establishes a connection with her readers because not everyone understands the big political fancy words. So this kind of just makes them understand it in a more simple way, and it really helps the reader understand. So next, she uses amplification with apostrophes. So when she's talking about what she, like, the side that she doesn't agree with, she puts, like, apostrophes to kind of, like, use a little bit of sarcasm with what she's talking about. And this really helps to push her claim and her point of view to her audience. Next, she uses wit. So she undermines the opposing views' opinions by just using a little bit of wit and sarcasm. And this really shows that she's right, and it kind of makes the audience feel like, oh, there's no other reason that I should be believing that side of the fence when, you know, like, when she's saying this. So finally, for her diction, she uses connotations. She establishes her trust with her readers and then pushes them to her side and, like, pulls them over by using negative connotations with the side she opposes and then using positive connotations with her side. And this really helps the reader to just start recognizing these connotations and to believe that she's right. Thirdly, she uses pathos. So first, she talks about a touchy subject. She talks about how with the tax cuts, white people are going to be, like, much better off than anyone of any other race. They'll be at an unequal. And this really helps her audience to feel, it persuades them and helps them to feel cared for and fuels their want for change and that this is wrong. And then finally, she talks about a current issue of immigration and separation of families, and this really helps her audience to know that she wants the best for them, and she cares about families. She cares about things with sympathy, and she just has sympathy for these people, and this really also helps her audience to feel cared for and to feel empathized with, and it makes them want a fight for change. So overall, Katrina vanden Heuvel displays her opinions and sways her readers through her rhetoric. Her rhetoric is based on persuading her audience and making them feel cared for.